Okay, we are in the beginning of teaching, so I'm going to teach a little bit more about Dharma, and so that you understand words in Buddhism. They're different than the words that you say in humanity. They're very different. There are not that many, and they're very evolving. Yeah, they mean something, and one word could be a book. Yeah. So one word like Dharma. Yeah. Dharma is the law. Yeah. It's the law. Yeah. It's the process of the truth. Yeah. And in the center of the truth, in the center of time, in the center of God, yeah, is the law. Yeah. And it just is there. It does exist. It exists because the process of everything we have is based on the working out of that law, applying itself in creation and manifestation. So most of us look at it through a Christian view, or look at it through different religious views, or maybe a supernatural, spiritual belief system. In Buddhism, it is a science. It's a very, very specific science. And it's a science about transmuting disease, transmuting poison, transmuting impurity, transmuting vices and glamours, things that are the only things that cause harm. Yeah, they don't really exist in the Buddha field. Yeah, but in the Buddha field, there's an opposite to that very thing, which is the thing that creates creation, creates God's manifestation in everything, in all things. You know, so in that science, I teach about the 7 rays, and I teach about the chakras and the influence of the 7 rays on all things. In Buddhism, we teach about the relationship of 5 of those rays, and we call them the 5 super rays. Yeah, the magical rays, the rays that are beyond anything that we have ever imagined. They radiate, they have sound, they have manifestation in form. Yeah. And in those five rays, those 5 colors, those 5 sounds, they turn into 5 forms. And they come out of 5 Buddhas, 5 energy of Buddha. Yeah. And we know these rays. We know them as elements. Yeah. We know them as earth and fire and water and wind and light. Yeah. And all of that is what's known in Buddhism. It's known as the Dhyani Buddhas. Yeah, the 5 Buddhas. Yeah. And yet it even in Buddhism, it's not fully understood. What does that mean? What does 5 Dhyani Buddhas mean? You know, are they Buddhas that incarnate? Buddhas that are just in existence in the Buddha field, celestial Buddhas, yeah? Or are they actual Buddhas that manifest every time a Buddha manifests, or every time we awaken Bodhisattva, and every time we move toward the Bodhisattva path, yeah, and live a life in this Buddha reality, yeah, as a manifestation of Buddha, yeah? And it's these 5 elemental rays inside of us, yeah, that gives us the images of these 5 Buddhas. 5 Buddhas. And we're made up. Every part of us is made up of these 5 Buddhas, yeah? And they come in the form of sacred geometric forms, yeah? You can see these 5 Buddhas, yeah? And one Buddha is a dodecahedron, and it's solid white light. Yeah, it's known as love, or space itself. Yeah, all emptiness. Yeah. Then the next one is an icosahedron. Yeah, and that's water, and that's the color of blue. And then the octahedron, that's air, truth, color of green. Yeah. And then there's the harmony and peace and peacefulness and earth. That's a cube. And then the tetrahedron, which is fire and right conduct, discrimination. Yeah? All these are states of mind, states of consciousness that come out of the mind of a Buddha, of 5 different emanations of Buddha himself. Yeah, 5 emanations. And they're not separate entities, yeah, but yet they are. They manifest just like these elements manifest as separate elements. These colors manifest as separate colors, but they're really not. They're all emanations of the mind of Buddha. Yeah, before there was ever anything, there was the mind of Buddha. Yeah, and out of that, as an answer to all poisons, all problems, all things, came these elements through the mind of Buddha. Yeah, and that was started off by Vairocana. Yeah, in the most ancient days, in the form of Amitabha. Yeah, so Amitabha is over here in red. That's a tetrahedron. And if you study geomancy and geometric reality, the center of an octahedron, center of a cube, the center of every geometric form is a tetrahedron. Very center, yeah? And then you take 2 of those, it turns into a star tetrahedron. You connect those points together and you have a cube. And you take that same tetrahedron, also star tetrahedron, that cube, and in the center of that cube is an octahedron. Yeah? And as you go a little further, the very geometric patterns of all those things combined together create an icosahedron. And then all of those things emanate out of a dodecahedron. They emanate out of it, all hidden inside, all part of the elemental reality of creation. Yeah? And where do we get fire? Where do we get water? Where do we get space? Yeah? How did we get air? Yeah? How did we get earth? How is their life? How is their creation? How is their thought? How is their speech? How is everything that's here? It's a mandala. It's a mudra. It happens through the science of Buddha, through meditation. Yeah? Dhyana means meditation. That's what dhyana means, meditation. Yeah? So what happens? What happens? In Buddhism, what happens? Yeah? Well, as Padmasambhava I came, as Gautama Buddha I came, as Manjushri I came, and I taught all this. I said there are 5 Dhyana Buddhas. They manifest in these forms. They have these qualities and characteristics, and this is what they look like. And just think of me, but in the color of blue. Think of me in the color of green, and these are this name. Yeah? And you say, Om, and then you say that name, and then you say, Ah. Yeah? Then you say Om. Then you say the name of the next Dhyana Buddha. And you say Ah. Yeah? And that invokes those Dhyana Buddhas into manifestation. They are real. They are what mudra is. They are what mantra is. Yeah? So we say these 5 mantras. We say these 5 Om to the 5 different Dhyana Buddhas. Yeah? And when we do that, we then go into meditation, because meditation itself comes from the Dhyana Buddhas. They have the consciousness, they have all the things that it takes to take away all of our suffering and all of our pain, let alone give us direction, give us a life, and create the future in a grounded way, the most seriously grounded way. Yeah? Like you can't imagine. Yeah? You know how cosmic things come together. It's always so much better than working things out, when it's just cosmic and magic. Yeah? Well, that's what it's like when these things come together, because all of these Buddhas are celestial. They're cosmic. They're transcendental. Yeah? Yet when you speak of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, you have to include these 5 Dhyana Buddhas. And through that, you have to understand the 7 rays. Yeah? Because your process could be that you actually are not working with those 5 Dhyana Buddhas. And you're only working with 4 rays. Yeah? And those 4 rays are your attributes. Those 4 rays are your lower chakras, not your higher chakras. Yeah? And those higher chakras, if you look at this, in an unhealthy state. If you go look at the seventh ray, unhealthy state, seventh ray, fifth ray, sixth ray, and then the second ray. Yeah, the second ray. Yeah, but in reality, what's getting unhealthy here is the relationship of that brow center up there. Yeah, and that fifth ray over there in the healthy brow center. Whatever's in that brow center, that's where the Dhyani Buddhas are located. Yeah. That's where Buddha's located. That's where we meditate. When we raise our consciousness, we go up into these centers. That's why you see healthy over here on the right-hand side, everything goes upward. Yeah? Because, why? Because we meditate. Yeah? Because we have right aspiration. Yeah? Because we try. Yeah? We put forth effort. Yeah? We practice meditation. Yeah? We practice mindfulness. We do, and all of that is what allows these currents to move in the right direction. They move in the right direction. And when you do that, you get the blessing of 5 rays that are all screwed up over here in your unhealthy rays. You see them over here. They're all over the place. 5th ray is over there. 5th ray's down there, 7th ray's there, 4th ray's up there. Yeah? It's just all over the place. And what it does is it closes you off to your heart. And that's where Buddhism comes in. When we meditate because we care. Because we want to stop hurting people. We want people to stop hurting us. We want to change the world. We want it to be better. We have something inside of us that is Buddha, that is like Buddha, that thinks in the same way Buddha does and knows the way out, which is not hate, not jealousy, not enviousness. All those things we gain discernment and discrimination over. We come to realize that those things are our pitfalls. They are our weaknesses. Yeah? They are our poisons. Yeah? And they wouldn't be there if we were not poisoned. They're an expression of poison. Yeah? So how do we get rid of these things? Yeah? We have no idea how we got them. We have no idea what surges them inside of us. You know? There could be anti-Dharma activity. There could be Kali Yuga. There could be just bad things you do. Behaving with jealousy. Expressing jealousy. Enviousness. Pride. Hate. All those things. All those actions. You completely shut off mindfulness. Yeah? You shut it off. It's gone. Not even there. You're not using your mind if you're going to use hate. Yeah? There's no mind there. Yeah? It's just a response. It's an emotional process. Lower mind, as low as it can go. And there are laws down there, you know, that you have to abide by. Yeah? Eye for an eye. You know, you kick me, I kick you. You know, blame somebody else so I can get away with it because no one can tell the truth. You know, all those things down there that are your opportunities, you know, are in this human world. They're in the human world, yeah? But all the things that are actually there that are terrestrial, transcendental, yeah, they're here too. Yeah, just as much as the things as opportunities that can take you down, there are things that can take you up. And you have to use the things that take you down to take you up. You have to use them. You can't run. You can't say, oh, you know, I'm too pure for that. I don't like talking negative. I don't like being negative. I don't like, thinking those kind of thoughts. But that's not the case. Yeah. Meditation helps you to discern and to discriminate. Yeah. So then these elements come into you. And when they come into you, they become a force to reckon with. Yeah. They become wisdom. Yeah. It takes the actions of stupidity, anger, vices, all those things of glamours that you have no control over and you're not free from. You're just poisoned by. Yeah. All those things are not in any of these geometric forms. They're not in the sacredness of reality. That's reality. Yeah. We can step outside reality and talk all kinds of shit. Yeah. Make all kinds of things up. philosophical things, political things, religious things. But when it comes down to it, we all have to agree these geometric forms do relate to reality. And when we take white light and split it, it comes out 7 rays. That's reality. We can agree on that. Yeah? And from that premise, from many premises, there is a way for us to come to realize God. Just through reality, through the truth. It's all there. Everything's there. It's just that Christians don't teach you this shit. Yeah? Most Buddhists don't even teach you this. Most Buddhists will say, yep, 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Yep, each one has their characteristics and qualities. Yeah? Each one has blessings to them. Take one. Just take one. And use that one as the way out, rather than meditate on all of them and realize the whole science, and realize that the influence of Dhyani Buddha is meditation. Yeah? It's not about picking any one of them. Yeah? It's about realizing that they exist, knowing that they exist, knowing that the energies that flow through you that allows your mouth to say the wrong thing, allows your eyes to say the wrong or see the wrong thing. Those things are lacking discernment. To gain discernment, you need wisdom. To get wisdom, you have to get it from Buddha. Buddha has wisdom. Other people don't have wisdom. They have knowledge, and it's limited. Yeah? And it's based on the past, and it's based on future hope and belief systems, but it has very little to do with the truth, with Dharma. And Dharma is based on wisdom, developing wisdom on all levels. Yeah? Whether you got jealousy or enviousness or pride or anything, the only thing that turns it, transmutes it, transforms it, is when it turns into wisdom. Yeah? It turns into wisdom. And that happens by your becoming through Bodhisattva. You're on the path. You stay on the path. You become more like Buddha. Yeah? And all the influences of the rays and the embodiment of the understanding of things comes flowing through you. Yeah? Flowing through you. All 5 of those things, plus the balance of 7 rays, which is hardly even talked about in Tibetan Buddhism. Only when you get to the stupa, only when you get to certain realities in mathematic equations and numerology in relationship to the star clusters and their design influence upon mankind. In Tibetan Buddhism, we then take the number 7 into play. It's bigger, it's wider, it fits. Yeah? But when it comes to humanity, there are 5 rays to seal in humanity into humanity, to becoming humane. Yeah? Not inhumane. All the things we suffer from is inhumanity. All the things we're not going to suffer from is humanity. Yeah? So it's a matter of transmuting and transfiguring humanity through that process. Yeah? And it's not an easy process, because these are, in Tibetan Buddhism, they say, well, there are 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and there are 5 separate Buddhas, and they never incarnate. You talk to the Dalai Lama, and he says, well, Gautama Buddha doesn't even reincarnate. And all the other great masters that we've known of, Padmasambhava, Tsongkhapa, we do not know of them reincarnating. But we actually don't know the truth about the past. We don't know how many times they've reincarnated and been found in the early stages of their incarnation. And all the rest of them were Tsongkhapa. All the rest of them was Padmasambhava. And you missed it in the early stages. Like not realizing that Gautama Buddha was reincarnated as Padmasambhava. Yeah? Or that Gautama Buddha 500 years later reincarnates as Jesus. In this dogmatic, linear, lower mind, whether you're Tibetan or not, you will not discern and discriminate the ongoing truth of Dharma. Dharma is a view. Yeah? And you may have been alive in the year 2000, but you were not in view of the conditions at hand. You still might have been stuck in thinking Gautama Buddha was it, and there won't be another Buddha for another 50,000 years. So no need to look. No need to bother. Yeah? You may be a Krishna addict and going, well, there's really no coming of Buddha. We left that out of our belief system. So when Buddha came, we didn't include him in the pantheon of Vishnus and Vaishnava reality. Yeah. So history has wiped away this process of reincarnation and externalization. Yeah. We barely caught Gautama Buddha before he was wiped away. If he hadn't woke up at 30 years old, we would not have known of his existence. Yeah? If Jesus didn't kick out everybody out of church and allow himself to be killed on a cross and fight for the truth of Dharma, yeah? And then go back and save everybody in Buddhism, we wouldn't be talking about Buddhism right now. And you would have no knowledge of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Yeah? That's how close it was. Yeah? Even going back in history, we can't really affirm a whole lot of things because people destroy it, wipe it away. Yeah? Keep it from being recognized. Even at the birthplace of Gautama Buddha, just as they were trying to make it right, they found the tree, they verify it. There was a big obelisk-like thing that was placed there by the king in order to verify that this was the location at the time of Buddha's birth. So he built this thing right there, and it wasn't far from where the tree was at. Yeah, and he said the tree is near there, and that's where he was born. So these are two important things you don't want to mess up. Passed on by the king, written on stone. Right there at the birthplace, the whole bit. And then when they got through all the brush in 1950 and 1940 and 1930, when they got through the brush and found Lumbini for the first time, and they find this pillar and it's going, oh, the king of da-da-da-da. Oh, holy moly. This is Buddha's birth site. Oh my gosh, what do you know about that? And then they read a little further and figure out the language and everything. Oh, the tree just right over there is where he was born. That's where the whole story began, and this is something that's found in the 50s, right, 60s, and they're going, okay, we're going to make this a holy site, we're going to get it recognized, and the Dalai Lama comes out in 1995 and says, well, you all know he wasn't born in Nepal. That's all illusion. He wasn't born in Lumbini. And he goes on and on and on about it, completely disrupting the process of recognition to holy sites and the fact of, Gautama Buddha's life. Yeah. And before that, as they're building the site, the architects who went in, people were going to build hotels and they were going to build stupas and other monasteries in the area. When they started clearing, they literally ripped down the tree without anybody knowing that they were taking down the singular one holy thing on the land. There was no grave site, nothing like that, but there was a specific birth site where he was born, and the tree was still there. Yeah, and that was ripped out. Yeah. And they're still looking around like, I don't know, I think it might be here. I think this could have been where it was at. They're still guessing. They're still putting plaques up where they think it might have been. Yeah, and they dig down far enough, and they found more treasures from the king, verifying that it really is the site and everything like that. But these things, you can't go back in history too much, because during history, people are rummaging around doing the best they possibly can to make God not God, make people not believe in God, make people not believe in Jesus Christ, make people not believe in Buddha. Yeah. So that's really where a lot of us are at. We don't have most of the information that needs to be brought together. Yeah. So it's through meditation. That's the only what we got. That's all we got. You can't count on the material world. You can't count on grabbing a book and reading it and becoming enlightened. You must meditate. Because things in ourselves, we are 99% spiritual. Yeah. And the side of us that reaches spirituality is the higher side, not the lower side. To get to that, and if you have 24 hours a day and you're not putting your attention towards your spiritual development, your slow down, wake up, spend an hour meditating. Because if you meditate, you can't go with me, with my pujas, and my pyramids and things like that, where I clean the energy up and I add these elements all around you. All these elements, a tetrahedron, an octahedron, built inside of a pyramid, which is the stupa of a Buddha. Yeah? All those things are all around us right now. Yeah? All the Dhyani Buddhas, in this close statement inside of this monastery, inside of all the work that I do, every single thing, all the pujas, all of it is to enhance your ability to reach the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, which is me. I'm all 5 of those. All my speech, all my actions, all my things are all the manifestations of all those 5. It's the same with Gautama Buddha. There were 5 Dhyani Buddhas around him at the time of his incarnation. And that doesn't mean that there were physically 5 incarnations of the Dhyani Buddhas, but there were 5 emanations manifested within his reach. Through his speech, through his action, through his blessings. Because they have mudras, and those mudras clear the way. They're there sitting in those mudras 24/7. There's not something else they're doing, not eating. And you might think, here in this world, all this process between men and women, you might think, well, it's all guys, why is it all guys, But it's not all guys, For every single Dhyani Buddha is a female Buddha. Every single one, And without that influence of those two, knowing that gender is creation. Gender is creation, all the way to God, And only in the evil aspects called separation is gender destroyed. And that's our root problem. That's why we call our meditation Tantra. Tantra. It's rooted in these 2 sexual loving embrace. Their union. Whether you see it or not, that's the way it is. The Dhyani Buddhas are constantly in a state of union. Male, female. Constantly doing their elemental forces. The female aspect is blowing out as much as you can possibly imagine in the negative aspects of reality and raising up all things in the consciousness at the same time. So is the male aspect. And these influences are what gives us life. That's what, when we look out at a tree and we see it growing, we go, oh man, that's amazing. This is what does it. Their Tantra. Their Tantra. It's immortal. It's forever. It is what it is. It was in creation. There would be no creation without this. And out of that we get the 7 rays, which includes animals and vegetables, all planets and all galaxies and everything you can possibly imagine. It manifests planetary, solar, and cosmic logoic reality. A grounded reality. Where you don't have to worry about extraterrestrials coming and using you as pig meat, as food. I don't know if you ever saw that Twilight Zone show, but it was the worst one I ever saw. Scared the living crap out of me. It's when Twilight Zone, all these big-headed UFO guys came to Earth, and they come walking down their stairway, and everybody's going, whoa, wow, they're so big, and they're 9 feet tall, and their heads are so big, and they had this great big book, and they want to give it to humans, here's our book, and they didn't know what it meant. And they're going, yeah, well, we would like to invite you all on board, we can take all of you, as many as you want to go, come on, let's get on board. And they start climbing on board, and they're going to go have a great time in space and be with extraterrestrials and stuff, and then they're getting ready to take off. And the guys who's learning how to figure out the language, they come across the first few letters of the book, and they thought, it meant, well, what it meant was that it's a cookbook on how to eat human beings, recipes on eating human beings, and they're going, oh my God, no! So then they close the ship up, and it takes off, and that was Twilight Zone. I mean, really, we don't want that, right? So, and there's a lot of other movies that are worse than that, So these are all things that we deal with here. We deal with this here. We deal with people who eat people. We deal with people who kill people. We deal with people who grab people and torture people until they die and can keep them for 20 or 30 years until their last breath. It happens here on Earth, right here amongst us, a lot, all over the planet. Yeah. So having that come from elsewhere and come at us is just as possible as it is in all the things that we have going on. And there's only one way out of it, is this process that comes on a higher level. Yeah. There are different kingdoms. Yeah. There's the kingdoms of the vegetable kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the animal kingdom, the human kingdom, and then there's the kingdom of the soul. And there's kingdoms above that. Yeah. Logoic kingdoms, solar kingdoms, yeah, cosmic kingdoms, yeah. And all those places are completely in a state of balance, completely at the highest state of consciousness, completely at the highest state of order, because all those elements, these elements here, let's see, let me show you. These elements here, all these elements come into consciousness. They come into an illuminating aspect inside the mind of humanity without us knowing it. Yeah. So by having the Dhyani Buddhas in our life, and that's called Buddhism, yeah, by practicing Buddhism, yeah, which means you're going to practice this stuff I ask you to do, do your meditations, focus on. Let's see, I think I have it here. Nope, I don't. What do I do with it? Let's see. Yeah. Dhyani Buddhas, they make this science available because they exist. Yeah, just imagine flowers exist, yeah, trees exist, water exists, all those things exist. But above us, that makes our soul, yeah, that blends into us and creates us in a conscious way and saves us. Saves us. Yeah, you want God, you want to believe in God, but God is big. And I'm here to explain God. Yeah? And to get to God, yeah, the Dhyani Buddhas, which is the emanation of God, like 7 holy angels, yeah? And these are 5 angels that are specifically set aside in order to manifest in you all these right paths of enlightenment, yeah? First one, dhyana, which is right meditation. Second one, right mindfulness. Remember the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. It's not just one. Each one has characteristics and qualities. You need to study it, look at it, think about it. And if you take them apart in 5 different sections, it's easier for you to deal with pride over here, jealousy over here, things like that. It's a lot easier. And you do that in your mind while you're meditating. Yeah? And then you realize in your livelihood, I must really discriminate. Am I carrying out any of these things? Am I lying thinking I have to lie? Yeah? Am I alluding to delusions because I think I have to? Yeah? Do I have to? I don't have to. Am I even aware that that's what I'm doing? Yeah? Because it could be jealousy or enviousness or pride, things like that actually draws you into having a certain livelihood or having a certain way of speech or having a way of acting or action or having a way of intention, intending for anything, or having a view of whether or not you're guilty or not, whether or not you did it or somebody else moved you to do it. Whatever's going on, we need discernment, discrimination, and you get that when you're raised up into the Buddha field. Yeah. And the Buddha field, if you understand the Buddha field, like here I come and I say I'm Buddha and everything, and I've got all the credentials you could imagine, I've got all the monasteries you can imagine, and still, it is what it is, right? It's really crazy. Yeah. But aside from that, The biggest reality is that there is an education that you can work within while you're meditating, and better to understand while you're meditating. So then as time goes on, your wisdom develops, and you can literally see these qualities in Buddha who's incarnated. You can see them. You can experience them. They radiate. They transmit. They infuse. Because it's about Guru Yoga. And you don't know anything about Guru Yoga. You don't know anything about the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. You're not really sure as to why you should be meditating. Oh, am I doing it because I got a guru? Yeah, you do, but you're not ready to think you got a guru because you're too prideful. Yeah? And you can't really go there, because you can go, guru, yeah, but I'm not a yogi, I'm not a monk, I'm not a, so how can that be my guru? It's somebody I know, another guru, yeah? So it's wisdom that brings about the ability to have the view, to see the witness, and understand, because the teachings in Dharma are only based on these teachings. Only based on these teachings. The science of the 7 rays, the elemental relationship of geomancy, and the saving of humanity by building monasteries and study through meditation. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's everything else gets taken care of. If we need to fix cars, we can fix cars as long as we continue meditating, as long as we continue bringing the energy in, because you want to bring the energy in. If you think there's no God, that's not going to help. Yeah. But what if you do believe there's God, and then you receive pathways, teachings that help you get to God? And most of that is through imagery. So I'm telling you about the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. They have 5 different colors. One is white. The central one, love itself, is white. Well, that's the same as everything I'm teaching you in the 7 rays. The central point, and all things come out of that central point, and that's love. It refracts not just 5 rays, 7 rays, but the 5 rays are the ones we have to battle. Yeah. So there's a manifestation on the Buddha field, because that's where compassion takes form. That's where Buddha becomes manifested. That's the incarnation of compassion. Not average human being, not average thing that goes on in life, a dog or cat or anything else. This is literally an incarnation of compassion. It's hard to come by. Yeah? And then it has all these other influences in it, because it houses all the 7 rays. So that has power over dimensions, time, space, things like that. So all these Dhyani Buddhas are aspects of controlling elemental forces that control time and space, called transcendental, transcendent, and yet it's just as material as the material plane, just as material, just as conscious and as knowing and as revealing, and science could verify it, just as material, The thing is that it can only come through awakening of view through meditation, You can write a book, you can put your, all the videos you want out. But when I do this teaching, all my teaching is for transmission. It's to use my speech. All this dhyana reality is the use of speech, use of body. Having a physical body, it emanates out the body of a Buddha. So that has direct relationships to the etheric field. It changes the body of the etheric field, makes the etheric field holy. So any other object in the world could have the opportunity of being holy, because there's an incarnation of Buddha on earth that is physical. And that gives all physical matter the opportunity to become holy. Without something being holy, you really don't have the resonance. It's all about transmission. And then once that light comes into things, all you get out of it is war. You get aggression, you get chemistry that goes on, and you get fire, and you get explosions, and you get change, and you get manifestation, and you get all these things that are coming together that really only by Buddha's magnetic power of infusing reality into a higher course of evolution does it take place. It's not under the will aspect of those elements themselves. They literally have to be transmuted and vibrationally made manifest. Just like all those, the cube, the tetrahedron, the octahedron, the truth is they all come out of one geometric form. Yeah, a Metatron's cube. They all come out of that. Yeah. So in reality, that's where we're sitting in the light, Varicona. Yeah. That's where we're sitting with the white one, the one in the light. Yeah. The one who holds all the rays and stands in wisdom of love. Yeah. And that light carries all the rest of them, carries all anything that's going to wake up over here, over there. They're actually all coming from the central spiritual sun. Yeah. So you always see, like in this, wrong one. Each Dhyani Buddha relates to the 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, formation, and consciousness. The purification of the 5 poisons: ignorance, negative pride, miserliness, attachment, jealousy, anger, and hatred. And transforms the 5 aggregates to achieve various aspects of wisdom. Thus the 5 wisdoms, the 5 aggregates, and the 5 poisons, the 5 symbols, and the 5 colors, and the 5 symbols, are all represented by the 5 Dhyani Buddhas and found within each mandala. Yeah? So there's nothing, inside the relationship of these Dhyani Buddhas, the influence in which it's brought about to change. If we look at Amoksati, this is the 5th Dhyani Buddha. He represents cosmic element, and confirmation. His left hand lies upon his lap, and the right exhibits the Abhya Mudra. Yeah. So it's a teaching mudra. It's one that dispels glamour, things that stand in front of fear. It illuminates the light of Dharma through teaching, and that eliminates fear. Yeah. So the gesture of fearlessness and protection, shown as the left hand and the palm turned outward and all fingers extended upward. The symbolic mirroring of the dispelling fear pose is an interpretation of the action of preaching. It is said that one gains fearlessness by following the Bodhisattva path. So in the study, just the study, you align to this particular Dhyani Buddha. Just by learning more, understanding more. Oh, this is this Dhyani Buddha. This is what this does. Having that interest and carrying that interest on the level of Buddha is a major blessing. Major blessing. Yeah. And then there's the, let's see, wrong one. Yeah, Amitabha. This is the oldest, the most ancient Buddha among the Dhyani Buddhas. He is said to reside in the Sukhabhi heaven in peaceful meditation. This mudra is called Dhyana Mudra. This is when anybody says we're going to do Dhyana Mudra, your hands are upon your lap. One palm up, one is laid upon the other. And his palms are joined together with the right on the left, 2 thumb fingers touching each other. An ombol is placed between his 2 palms. Here, the meditating hand gesture represents the unity of wisdom and compassion. And this is his meditation. This is his existence, his beingness. This is the incarnation of compassion in that form. And then there's Sambhava. Sambhava is regarded as the 3rd Dhyani Buddha. He represents the cosmic element of Vedana, which is sensation, feeling. His recognition symbol is the jewel, and he exhibits the Varada Mudra. His right hand lies upon near his right knee. His left hand is seen holding an alms bowl. In Sanskrit, Varada means granted a boon. The gesture shows the right hand turned towards the receiver of the boon, with the fingers pointed downward. Yeah. So there's two kinds. One where the hand is turned inward and your fingers touch the earth, and you're giving the boon to the earth. And the earth receives your light. And you turn it around, turn it over, and have the palm up. Those that receive you as a teacher receive the light. Yeah. So each one of these have this going on. One is to facilitate the earth. One is to facilitate humanity. One is to facilitate the teachings in itself, so that when people want to go out and practice and learn and use their speech or do their study, the dark forces won't keep you from that. Yeah? This is a protective elemental force. And then there's Ashoka, which is regarded as the second Dhyani Buddha. He represents the primordial cosmic element of consciousness. The steadfast nature of his Bodhisattva vows. His right hand displays the Bhuma Supura, the earth-touching mudra. That's the one that Gautama Buddha is known for. Yeah. And this is all, these different relationships, this is about as ancient. Before there was creation, there was consciousness. So this Buddha and all these Buddhas were made in manifestation to churn up consciousness, to turn what isn't anything into everything. Yeah? And it all just is, in the mind of Buddha, it is what it is. Yeah? It becomes obvious. It becomes qualities and characteristics and what we call humanity. Yeah? The speech and the ideas and the expression and the loveliness and the attitude that's found in a human being is all the work of the Buddhas. Yeah. And then there's the first, which is Varachona, and the first Dhyana Buddha is known as the cosmic element, the form. His two hands are held against the chest, with the tips of his thumbs and forefinger on each hand united. This mudra is called the Dharma chakra, which is the gesture of teaching. Literally, Dharma means law, and the chakra means a wheel, and usually interpreted turning the wheel of law. So, Dharma chakra, this is at the center of your being. Yeah, this being, this particular Dhyana Buddha. Yeah, this is the one who's all white. This is the one that is love. Yeah, this sits in the center point of the five. Yeah, you see one in the center and four around it. Yeah, this center one is the one that holds the law together. It turns the wheel. But what it does, it creates the first chakra. Chakra. And creating the first chakra creates the first human being. It's like having sex and you give birth. And giving birth happened through this chakra. Yeah. And this held everything together, the law, held it all together, and it then became emanations that became Bodhisattva, helpers in the plan to manifest the human, which would become the body of Buddha as time goes on. It would become the kingdom of the soul, it would become the Buddha field, it would become heaven on earth, working out of a plan. Pretty interesting stuff, huh? Yeah. Dhyana Buddhas. Yeah. So let's do a little prayer. And then we're going to do the as many atoms, and that was done by Padmasambhava. It's a direct lineage puja from him that was given to me. So I did it, and now you get to hear it. But these are word for word prayers and the puja that was done by Padmasambhava. And so all that's known about Dhyani Buddhas comes from Padmasambhava. I wrote a book called The Tibetan Book of the Dead. Scary ass book. Really scary. If you're scared of dying, this will fulfill all your fears. There's no question about it, because it's so truthful. It is scary. It's scarier than anything. But death is already here. Death is already happening while you're alive. We're alive and we're dead and we're alive, and all of this is going on at the same time. That's why it's important while you're alive to take the opportunity to reach into where life exists while you're here and meditate. Make yourself a communication, a connection, so that when you do reach death, you are picked up by angels. You're picked up by Buddhas. It's a very different experience than dying alone and only having your friends and an ant and a dog barking on the side, and you're not going to heaven. You're going into samsara. Yeah. And it's just a place that's very similar to this, and it just fulfills your desires. It continues filling your desires. And then you die, and you come back, and you don't learn that much. Yeah. So the process, when you're alive and you're doing your meditations, you become aware of these 5 Dhyani Buddhas. I'm the teacher. I'm teaching you this stuff. It's really old. When you meditate, you will find it. You will see it. You will experience it. It will change you. It will change the whole world. And in doing that, we open where gates have been closed, gates will be opened. Yeah? When you read in the Bible, you'll find when the fall took place with Adam and Eve, gates were closed. Heaven was closed. The rays of heaven, the blessings of heaven, the immortal spirit, the tree of life was reduced from coming to earth. There was little of any in its manifestation. So we lost everything. We lost our contact with God. We lost our reality of reincarnation. We lost our immortality. We lost everything. Yeah? Because each of these things, Dhyani Buddhas, these rays that they bring to us, are rays of magnificent cosmic forces. And those magnificent cosmic forces we cannot take granted. You can't take for granted. You have to work hard to get them back. And close this gate over here of the astral plane. Close it up. And we do that by bringing in 5 of the Dhyani Buddhas to allow all 7 rays into us. And the Dhyani Buddhas awakens our heart chakra, reestablishes our other chakra, and puts us into order, to where we have a settled heart and a settled brow center. Those are the 2 things that we have to find right. Yeah? Our discernment and discrimination, and our love and our relationship to God. Yeah? And that all comes in. It all comes in through these meditations. Yeah? It may seem like, well, that seems so simple, but it's not. You have to practice mindfulness to remember to meditate. And when you forget all the time, and it's not part of what you're thinking of other things, and it's mainly because of the way you see things, and your intention behind things, and the actions you carry out. Maybe they're too much, or maybe they wipe you out, maybe they wrap you up, maybe they tie you up. Yeah? Well, that becomes your livelihood. That's how you live your life, tied up. Yeah? And then you spend all your time in effort of trying to fix all that shit that's going down here, from the view to intention, action, speech, and livelihood. Yeah? So then what do you got? You got mindfulness. You can sit back and take a deep breath and go, well, holy shit. Okay, at least I got this. I got my mind. I'm just going to go in my mind, settle my mind down, and start over again. And meditate. and receive. It is about receiving 5 Dhyani Buddhas of light, 7 rays of light, all the great sacredness that is in this world. We must attune to it. We can't take it for granted. If you take it for granted, you're mundane, you're deluded, you're not using any effort. Your livelihood is taking advantage of where you're at and what you're doing. It's not right. It's bad karma. In the end, it will be taken away. Yeah? So you can't do that. Yeah? You have to practice. In my world, if you don't do this kind of shit, it will be taken away. So don't go there. Yeah? Use mindfulness. Use meditation. Use effort. Yeah? Because it's not just about me. It's about you. It's about humanity reaching the next kingdom. Yeah? And it's not going to come, by us being just Christians or being just a Buddhist. We have to be practitioners. And you can't get down on yourself thinking, I'm the biggest asshole on earth. What benefit is that of me being here? Just shoot me and that'll get rid of a whole lot of darkness on earth. And that's not the way to think, people. It's just not where it's at. This is a totally different thing. This is about forgiveness. This is about impurities. The Dhyani Buddhas are the healer. Whatever you got going wrong, take this practice, study it. Look up the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Look up what do they do, what are their colors, and what in yourself is weak that you might be able to benefit from when you go into meditation. Imagine that Dhyani Buddha in that mudra and learn that name and say Om. Yeah? Say the name, whichever one you focus on, and then say Ah. Yeah? And say it over and over and over again. You don't have to say it outside. You have to say it in your heart. Because that's how you make the calling. That's how it works. You can say it outside, but you're better off really getting to know what you're saying, calm it down, say it inside, and it gets said. That way you're not thinking something. If you say it within, you're not, because you could be saying these words, but then you're still thinking these things, So say it inside. Yep. All right, so let's do this. Okay, just repeat after me. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To transform and transmute my feelings and emotions. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. So there is a normal flow of energy in my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We're home.
Are you?
there are in 1,000 billion worlds. So many times I make reverent salutations to all the Buddhas of the three eras, to the Dharma, and to the excellent community. I pay homage to all the shrines and all the places in which the Bodhisattvas have been. I make profound obeisance to the teachers and to those whom respectful salutation is due. This very day, I go for refuge. Suffering everywhere. Wholeheartedly, also, I take my refuge in the Dharma, which they have ascertained, which is the abode of security against the realms of rebirth. Likewise, in the host of the Bodhisattvas, I take my refuge. To the Buddha, for refuge I go. To the Dharma, for refuge I go. To the Sangha, for refuge I go. To the Buddha, for refuge I go. To the Dharma, for refuge I go. To the Sangha, for refuge I go. To the Buddha, for refuge I go. To the Dharma, for refuge I go. To the Sangha, for refuge I go. Yet to be, to all the truth teachings that are now, my worship flows unceasingly. No other refuge than the truth. Refuge supreme is there for me. By the virtue of this truth, may grace abound and victory. All my life I go for refuge to brotherhood. To all the brotherhoods that were, to all the brotherhoods to be, to all the brotherhoods that are, my worship flows unceasingly. No refuge but the brotherhood. Refuge supreme is there for me. By the virtue of this truth, may grace abound and victory.
Okay, just relax. I'm just going to play a couple of bowls, so just continue relaxing. Alrighty, let's relax on that one. Okay, you can open your eyes. So if you ever done any study around Guru Rinpoche, Milarepa, people of that nature, that's what we do. We do these bowls. We do the dorje, which is a vajra, yeah. And we hold that vajra because it represents the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Yeah, each part of it. I don't have one sitting here, but if you looked at it, that's what it would be like. And all the influences that comes with puja, that comes with the teachings, that come with the influence of Padmasambhava is Guru Rinpoche. Yeah, that's, in most cases, Rinpoches aren't thought of as guru. Yeah, they're thought of as Rinpoche, lotus-born. Yeah, which means that they're a high initiate and that they're very kind and considerate, and they show all these qualities, and they reincarnate, and they should have this name, Rinpoche, lotus-born, good guy. Yeah, but when it comes down to Guru Rinpoche, it's a totally different thing. Guru Rinpoche is a guru of gurus. Yeah, he's a guru of Buddha. Yeah, he's known as the guru of Buddha. Yeah, not just another Rinpoche out there, but literally the incarnation of Buddha of all 5 Dhyani Buddhas, made manifest. Yeah, under a ceremony inside of celestial realms of Buddha. Yeah, by the highest celestial Buddha of them all, Amitabha. And right out of the heart of Amitabha, and an Om manifested. And that Om turned into Padmasambhava as a child, right out of Amitabha. So this is literally an incarnation of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So calling Padmasambhava, which is my incarnation, Guru Rinpoche, which is, everybody calls me that, Guru Rinpoche, yeah? But yet everybody misuses this term guru. There are the guru ladies out there, the guru this, guru that, guys out there, the guru this, guru that, And it's just, all these terms, master, guru, all these things are so disrespectful and wrong in the relationship for you to be able to say guru. There's only one of a kind, that is the Guru Rinpoche. And to lay that title onto anybody else, it just shows the poison that's in the minds of humanity, who are incarnations of Buddha themselves. Yeah, and they are forced to say things like, I'm a diva, or I'm this and that. Even the guy, Bannon, the guy who runs with Trump, is a Buddhist and uses all the terms. He says what he does for Dharma. And that he believes his Dharma activity is the will of the people. Yeah. So they use these terms, negative terms used in Buddhism, as an opposite of what its intention is. And they just say, oh, it's the will of Dharma, it's the will of karma, it's the will of right nature, all those kind of things. And it's not. It's just like Hitler going around killing all these people, saying it's the will of Dharma that I killed all those Jews. It was the right thing to do. And if you look on that side, and just because you use the word doesn't mean that it's the truth. They use these words in order to defile the sacredness of Buddhism, of holiness, of sacred sites, of sacred people. So it's the most important thing you could do is try and get it together in this life, to realize that there is such a thing inside of humanity as a hierarchy, and 99% of it is under delusion. They're sick and they're poisoned, but they're there. They're little children, they're old people, they're regular people like you and I, and they're poisoned, and all of that is just waiting to be cleared and purified and brought into right action. And once it's brought about, you're not going to believe the intention inside of people, the goodness, the charity, the kindness, how they rectify everything very quickly, and they pay off all their dues and debts, without it being about money or anything like that. It's just that instead of taking out a loan, they wait until they can pay for it. And when someone asks for help to buy a car, they go through everything they can to get that person a car, and don't tell them that they have to pay it back or that it's your car. You just give, 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 and let it go. Once you give, you let it go. You don't think anything's going to come back or anything like that. That is how we should live, in every way, all ways. Yeah. Whether you go to a store, if you go to a store, there are poor, hungry people there. Look for a place to put food. Look for a place for the hungry person that stands behind you who does not have the $20 to pay for their food. Drop money. I do. I never go to a store without having at least $40 or $50 in one pocket that I walk around and keep dropping $5 bills and $10 bills and $20 bills. And then I go tap someone on the shoulder and say, "You dropped that." They go, "Oh, no, I didn't drop it." "Well, yeah, I saw it come out of your, They pick it up and they're happy as could be because now they can go buy that thing that they wanted to get. And every time I drop something, it's always exactly what they needed. I've been to stores where you give them $35 for a bag of groceries. Well, I said, "Great. I'll take 150 bags." And they're just going, "That's crazy." I said, "No, crazy as it is, but that's just fantastic. You do this." And I did that. Yeah. And they thought I was going to stand there and bag up 150 bags and put them to the side. But instead, I just paid for it, and they're going to do it, and it's going to be done. And 150 people are going to get bags of groceries. Everywhere I go to, I do that. And if I go into Walmart or any place where they have a big trash can that it says, groceries for the poor, I look in it because people put their trash there. And I make a thing about it. I go, hey, what? Why are you putting trash here? What's this? Trash don't belong here. Hey. Still no food goes in there. Trash goes in there. People put trash in there instead. So we need to be mindful. Yeah. We need to be right view. Yeah. We need to do all these things. These are our natures. We have the opportunity. We are not misfortunate. We are fortunate. If you know anything of Buddha, if you know anything of my teachings, you are the most fortunate person. Yeah? And put that forth. Don't have a lack of faith in yourself or the cosmos of energy of God that will bring whatever it is that people are brought to you. You need to help them. Yeah? You can't just go, "Well, I've done my dude. I gave $5 today. Never mind, not doing it." You can't behave like that. You have to do everything you possibly can to turn this thing around. You'll be so surprised as to how your karma changes, how your life changes. Yeah? Because you do get back what you put out tenfold. You get back tenfold. You don't get it that day, but you get it in the end. You get it before you die. Yeah? All right, so thank you all very much. Enjoy.